Welcome back, YouTube. It's Frank Paul.
Hey, what's up? Hello, y'all. It's your girl, Darnisha.
And today we're going to be reviewing Love is Blind Season 6.
So, if you don't know, Love is Blind is a Netflix sensation right now. They are actually filming in North Carolina. Matter of fact, it's in Charlotte. And it's basically about a bunch of singles with the
intention to get married.
Basically, sight unseen.
Some of them, though.
Yeah. And we will get into that. So,
it's a lot to get into, actually. So sit back, relax. We're going to actually do a whole review of the whole season. So spoilers, if you haven't watched it. And we're also going to do a recap of the reunion, of course. And just talk about some of the things that went on during the show.
Okay, let's get into it.
So let's get it.
So the formatting is going to be us talking about the characters, well, aka the cast. We'll talk about them in the pods. We will talk about their honeymoon. Mm-hmm. We'll also transition to talking about
when they meet their
families, living situations. Yeah. And then we'll also get into the wedding as well. So let's touch base on it.
So right now we're going to do an overview of the cast. First, let's do AD. So what's your first impression of AD?
Body yaddy, very confident.
Yes. Very sexy.
Very, very sexy.
Most definitely.
Seemed very confident. Mm-hmm. I like that she was a cheerleader before.
Yeah.
That was really cool to know.
And she's a Scorpio.
I didn't know that. That's cute. That's real cute.
And I think her occupation is like a real estate agent.
Nice. So when I first saw the pictures come out of AD, I was just like, oh yeah, she's going to be the one that is going to have everyone's jaws dropped.
Yeah, she's most definitely command the room when she walked in.
For sure. Yeah.
So it's no surprise that most of all the guys want a piece of AD, okay?
For sure.
Yeah.
And if you watched it, you will see that. Yeah. But we'll get to that though. We'll totally get to that.
So let's also move to, I guess, Clay. So Clay is a connection that AD had. Clay is a entrepreneur, or does he like?
I think he's like a club owner too. Or he's busy. He's very busy.
Very busy man. Very professional like guy. But Clay is your all-American black guy. He was an athlete. He kind of stepped into the I guess the season exposing the fact that he had like maybe infidelity issues, like he's a cheater basically because his dad was a cheater.
Yeah.
So that's like a reoccurring theme for Clay this season is that, oh, my dad was a cheater. I saw my dad cheat on my mom, so I'm scared that I might be a cheater as well.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't really feel like he had infidelity issues, but I feel like when you see that growing up, you kind of hold that with you to be like, hey, do I potentially have that in me too? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, it also says that he doesn't have any self-control because I think that he may have cheated on his girlfriends in the past, or maybe just juggle a lot of women.
Or like thinks about the fact of cheating, at least, you know, or just like entertains it a little bit for him to have, you know, but we'll get more into it. But for him to be so indecisive about everything.
For sure.
It's a lot. Yeah.
For sure. So I guess we can go to Amber and Matthew.
Okay.
So this is somewhat of a throuple, or is it throuple? 3 people?
A love triangle.
A rectangle, because it was like 4 individuals involved. You know, it was AD, Clay, and Matthew. So Matthew is another guy
that's right.
So Matthew was another guy that AD had a connection with in the pods.
And it's crazy, guys, because, I mean, if you watch the show, but if you didn't watch the show, Matthew was like someone in the boys pod that no one liked, was very to himself, like...
Very low-key, very low-key.
Kind of very off-putting a little bit, to be quite honest. Like, it seems like he didn't speak to anybody when people spoke to him. He didn't say things, he didn't respond. Like, he was just... I don't know, like I would say introverted, but like I think it's
my first impression of Matthew, it says right here, is that he's super weird, and is he a sociopath?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I was gonna ruin something. I'll just go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Later on, you will figure out that, because we're not gonna really touch on Matthew because he wasn't like a huge point in AD and Clay's relationship.
Well,
But
yes,
he
in the
said-
beginning.
In the beginning, of course.
Well, this
but-
is for all of you who have watched it. So if you haven't watched it, you might just not want to watch this video. So whatever. Spoilers
ahead. So Matthew said the same thing to two girls. So both of AD and this other girl in
Amber.
the pods actually related on, having deceased fathers.
Yeah, that issues as well.
He kind of fed on that.
Mhm.
And when the conversation got up, when it came to proposing, because females like to have their fathers, the men ask the dudes hand in marriage, and fathers walking down the aisle. It literally, y'all, was the verbatim the same exact thing. And then come to find out, they replayed both of their conversations at the reunion.
And we will get to that.
And we'll
later.
get to that. And yeah, so that if that shows you why Paul wrote those notes, he's a psychopath.
Yeah, and the way that he would just have communication, like I remember him having like a pad, like all of them had like a notepad, but like it would just seem very like methodic when it came to like the way that he was communicating, the way that he was interacting. It just seemed very serial killer. It wasn't like any emotion really. Yeah. So it's kind of like he was just checking off lists as he went through each interaction with those women.
And if you remember too, Paul, like when he was like first getting in the pods, like he felt as if he was interviewing people.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. And it was like not genuine. It wasn't like he was like everyone was getting the same questions asked, but he just wanted particular women to answer it right. And I guess him and that girl and AD answered it right, and that's why he stuck on to them. Yeah. But he didn't change the script up. Like, you're on a reality TV show. Like, you're getting recorded the entire time. Like,
I was at some points I was rooting for AD and Matt.
Really?
Yeah, because at first he kind of fooled me for at least, I guess, one episode. It seemed like they were connecting, and I like when like two odd people, like I guess two different people come together and can find some type of interest in one another.
Yeah, for sure.
So I thought like maybe she was the one that was gonna break the ice with him, because if you as you all who watched the show, Matt was kind of cold to a lot of the other women.
Absolutely.
Like it was moments where he literally walked out
mid conversation,
like 2 minutes in.
Yeah, for sure.
Left the girls like talking to themselves. And in these pods,
that's psychopath behavior.
Right.
Yeah.
So what else let me see who else we have. So we did have Amber. I don't really have many notes about Amber, but Amber was a connection that Matthew had. So she was the, like you just said, the other girl between AD and him. So that was just one situation. So you had AD, who had a connection with Clay, and also Matthew. And then Matthew had a connection with Amber.
Now, Amber didn't get a lot of camera time, but I feel like she should have, because she seemed so funny. Like when they went to the girls'
she's very pretty too.
Yeah, and they had their little commentary and stuff. She was just like,
I love the energy this season. I guess with especially with the women, I really enjoyed the fact that they had somewhat of a bond. It seemed like at times, and they all seemed to like each other and was interested in what each other had going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Compared to some seasons where I felt like there wasn't any chemistry between the cast.
Yeah. In the man pod, I would feel as if they really weren't really that connected like that. They
not as much as like, the women. They were. The
women were bonding, very like, let's go, girl.
But it seemed more authentic with the women. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, Amber is the reason why I think AD did not say yes to Matthew. Because she disclosed in the season that he had said something that was like you said before. He had talked about her dad. And she mentioned that to AD, and AD was kind of like, that sounds very familiar to something that he had just told me a few moments ago. Yeah. And I think AD would have chose Matt if it wasn't for that moment.
You feel like that?
She would have said yes to Matthew and not Clay, because Clay is.
Now, let's rewind though before you get to this point.
Okay.
Now, Matt said in the pods, hey, let's go. She could have just went right then. Why she didn't go? In your opinion? I think she was holding off for AD. Like she wanted she was holding off for AD to get on a knee and propose. Who? In my opinion, because Matthew in the past.
You mean AD was waiting for Clay?
Yes, I'm so sorry, y'all. So AD was holding off for Clay.
Yeah, I think so too.
If she was really about Matthew and he was just like, yeah, we can just run away together and go, then she would have just went and did it. I feel like I would have been like, okay, let's do it.
But I think she wanted to hear what Clay had to say. But then Clay was acting like a kid, throwing a tantrum because he realized that AD had another connection, and he realized that it was Matthew. And it was a whole scene where he was pacing around the room, basically kind of like, why would you even choose Matthew? Because Matthew was like totally different from what Clay is.
Like for real, dude.
Yeah, Clay is like that cool, suave guy, athlete.
He kind of reminds me of like he is a preacher's kid.
Perhaps.
His dad's a preacher.
Is?
Yeah. And that we'll get into that.
Yeah, and Matthew was like this country white guy, very good looking, but also very Ted Bundy-ish.
Very like structured and like
which AD
put it like yeah,
which AD I guess not exposed, but kind of confirmed during the reunion when she stated that when she did, I guess, date on a date Matthew a couple times after the show, that
their lifestyles weren't linked up.
Yeah, the lifestyles wasn't linked up, and that he was too structured for her, which I can see because he was that way in the pods.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, so moving along, we have Chelsea, Trevor, Jimmy, and Jess. Another love triangle or love entanglement. Okay. So Chelsea, aka Megan Fox. So Chelsea kind of broke the internet in her own little way when she compared herself to looking like Megan Fox and said her friends said the same.
So I see the features. I mean, I get it, but you don't look all the way like Megan Fox. And I feel like that's when people mess up in these type of experiments, because I feel like Jimmy was holding on to her looking like Megan Fox, and that's essentially why he picked her. Because when you talk about physical appearance and you say you look like Megan Fox, that's a turn on. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm expecting you to you look like that, and your personality is 10 too. So yeah, I'm gonna pick you. So, and then Jess, who is in the love triangle too, is a 12 out of 10. And she did not disclose her physical appearance whatsoever. And maybe if she did, she would have got picked. But I feel like the men this season really wanted to know what you really looked like before they picked you, including Clay with AD.
Yeah, so, which is a moment that Clay and AD had in the pods when basically he was kind of like throwing out some physical attributes, and trying to see if like those were something that she could, I guess, identify with, like full lips, a big booty, and all those things. So which pissed off AD because she was kind of like,
pissed off the viewers too, because that's not the experiment,
right?
At all. It's sight unseen that you fall in love,
right?
Yeah.
And throughout the whole season, it was kind of confusing whether or not Clay actually knew what the fuck was going on with this whole show, like the purpose of the show.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I also want to go over some notes that I put for Clay, just backtrack a little bit. So I did say that he seemed kind of avoidant, which we later realized it was because of his dad and the history of his infidelity with his mom. So back to Chelsea, Trevor, and Jimmy and Jess. So Chelsea does not look like Megan Fox at all. At least
I see the features, like the eyes and the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Hair, no. Nose,
yeah. Anything below the nose, anything below the eyes, no.
That's it. Yeah.
Which is like a lot of white women in America. So.
And I feel like for her to be like, that was too much. Like an experiment like that, that's nothing you say. You don't say that.
She doesn't look like Megan Fox at all.
She really don't.
But she looks like Meghan Trainor. Some
features. Anyways.
Yeah. So Jess is also a mom, and that was one of the things that really drew me to her in the begin on the first episode, on the first few episodes, is that how much she loved her daughter. And I think essentially that's the reason why Jimmy did not pick her, because
I feel like that too.
Yeah, I think he would have went with
just if she didn't disclose that.
Yeah,
I do too.
He did not want to be a dad.
And then what put the cherry on top for him with Chelsea was Chelsea telling him that she looked like Megan Fox.
Yeah, which I feel like she did it on purpose because she knew that
she was competing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the gag is just looks more like a Megan Fox
or a more celebrity
or aligned to that aesthetic that Megan Fox has compared to Chelsea.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So we also have Trevor. When I first seen Trevor, first off, his psoriasis was acting up during the season.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think he had seborrheic dermatitis in his scalp.
Yeah.
He was like all messed up right here.
Yeah.
And America loved Trevor. Like I was so heartbroken when Chelsea broke up with him, because there's an episode where Trevor gives like a bracelet that vibrates when you touch it. So like she could feel it like when she's in her own like dorm pod thing. Mm-hmm. And we just get disappointed, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, well, we talk about it now. When I first seen him, I was kind of like, I wrote here in my notes,
Wreck-It Ralph.
Why are you wearing business casual? and I said the same thing when he was on the reunion. Like, what the fuck is you wearing? He looks like a Best Buy guy.
I swear to God, this man literally, yes, he went to work like he worked for Lowe's or like worked for Best Buy.
Yeah, so it's not surprising he was a whole fraud. He looks like a liar. He looks like he
looked like a liar.
Janky insurance. Or
yes. And then the read that Vanessa gave him, she was just like, did you go here for the clout? And he was like, what clout? What career? And she's like, I don't know. I was like,
yeah. Is he like a trainer or something?
I think he is wanting to be a bodybuilder from what his Instagram is giving.
Yeah. So basically, T on Trevor is that we later found out that he had a girlfriend or someone he was proposing to that he had promised to marry.
We into the with y'all. Yeah. Texting her literally like days before. Days.
Like saying like, hey, baby, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Even when like he left the show because he didn't get chose. He was like, hey, baby, I'm coming home. Like we're gonna post the text messages of that. So basically this guy was a fraud.
He went there to
he almost got me too.
Like he got a bad cut. And I don't see why. Well, actually, he had a great cut on the show, but the girl exposed, Because do you feel like he had a good cut on the show? Because honestly, up until like even like when they were all meeting up and stuff, when there was like Jess and Trevor, at that pool party, I still liked him at that point. I was like,
he was still
just need to talk to him.
He was still favorable until we found out his tea.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. But he looked hot. Like honestly, he's not really that cute to me.
Yeah.
He has a mullet. He wears like
just
collared shirt. He looks like Wreck-It Ralph. Like if you don't know who that is, look him up.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did think Jess and Jimmy had like a connection when they first started talking the pod. It was like instant connection. Chelsea seemed forced with everybody.
You feel like this?
Yeah.
She seemed really fun. Like I thought I was gonna love her.
Well, for me, I think Chelsea, she had a good connection with Trevor and Jimmy, but nothing that really stood out for her. For me, I think she just perhaps liked Jimmy more, but I don't think they had the best connection at the world. And I think we saw that once they were out the pods. Yeah. I think, which, like you said, the only thing that sealed the deal was the fact that Jess had a kid and Chelsea said she looks like Megan Fox.
To me, Chelsea was a fan fave for me up until we got to the honeymoon. That's when I started not liking her. Now the pods, I was just like, yeah, this is a girl personally I would pick because she just was a good conversationalist. She was fun. She had a contagious laugh.
Yeah.
Like, and Jess too. Like she's a 100% great conversationist
I like
too.
Jess too, but she
But I
gave me
feel like
Kardashian.
to you, yeah, I feel like Chelsea to you though seems very pick me vibes, and you felt that very early, but I didn't.
I think Chelsea and Jess were both pick me's.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Not Jess, because the way Jess read him at the end, that's not pick me, because she was like, "Do what's best for you." Like, I don't want to be with somebody that's not.
But I feel like she had to say that. She don't want to seem desperate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because now thinking back, like, why would you put all that pressure and like send a note that you feel like you want your husband to read? I guess
this was she's. I did put the my husband comment that she made to Jimmy was cringe.
The husband note.
Little my husband. You know what she said that during the pod? She called Jimmy her husband.
Well, affirmated girl, because I know
it just seemed forced to me. She affirmated it and it happened.
Well, so there was one bitch comparing herself to Megan Fox, and then, she had a kid. So there's
true.
Her chances.
Someone did say that they think that Jess just want to be on TV. She has to look for it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
No, I feel like if she was a Jimmy, truly it would have worked out.
Perhaps.
I really do.
I think so too. I think it would have worked out way more than Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think we first met Chelsea when they first so spoiler alert, they did get engaged, Chelsea and Jimmy. So Trevor did also propose to Chelsea, but Chelsea denied it for Jimmy. And then after
rewind, what you say? You said Chelsea proposed to Jimmy.
Trevor proposed to Chelsea.
Yes.
But she denied it for Jimmy.
Yes.
And then after Jimmy found out that Jess had kids, it was a wrap.
Yeah. Literally, y'all, we're on episode 3.
Yeah.
And Jess, as she should, tell the dude that she has kids. She said she wasn't going to go in and say that she had kids or anything.
Which I respect. She
honestly.
did not take accountability for that. She should have told him right off.
No, because honestly, as a parent, if you tell especially an experiment like this,
yeah,
if you tell somebody off the rip that you have a kid, you're automatically bottom, and they don't get to know you.
But love is blind.
Well, it's your love story, not the kid's love story. So let them get to know you first, right? Mm-hmm. And then put that. I mean, it's part of you. Now, yeah. But I would personally do the same. I would move the same way she did.
Yeah.
I would let him get to know me, and then say that. I think she said it at a fair time. Honestly, she ain't say it late. I mean, we don't know the timeline of everything.
They have like 4 weeks to do all this shit.
Yeah, so I feel like she said it at a good time.
For me, I think she should have said it earlier because of like the duration of time they have to make these connections. Mm-hmm. And I think that she did kind of withhold it first, just so they can like fall for her first.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I understand.
I personally would want someone to fall for me and not put me at the bottom because I have a child.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you go on a first date with someone in real life, you be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a mother," and you want to hold them to like the third date.
Yeah, for sure. But like this experiment is different though. Like you're not like seeing, because like honestly, do you feel like if Jimmy saw how she would look, he would care if she had a kid? I think the fact that she had a kid made him not want her. Now, if he saw her physically, he probably would not give a damn. Mm-hmm. That's a gag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how
sad
serious?
Fact, but
you think he would have got married to her though?
Yes. No. Because she even said that I am willing to have your babies too.
Mm-hmm. But he don't want no babies. It seemed like because he would have been okay with the baby.
He said he wanted some kids.
Not
he said
now.
He wanted 3 or 4 kids.
Maybe like 5-10 years from now.
Yeah, for sure. But he probably was telling Chelsea different stuff because
I did mention in my notes that says I asked a question to myself. I said, could Trevor go back to his ex? And I said it's probably like a 98% chance. So he did talk about his ex in this season before the news broke out. Probably not in the way that ex. It's the is the key word ex.
Ex, yeah.
Not current girlfriend.
Truly. Mm-hmm.
But I felt like there was more to it then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel that though?
I don't know. I just in my notes it just says I think he will go back to his ex, and I'm not 100% sure.
Dang, that's cool.
So, I think that was one of the reasons why Chelsea was kind of like, I don't think I want to be with.
She said that in the reunion too. She said, I was feeling my intuition and something was off about you. Right. Something was real off.
I think she made the best choice when it came to between Trevor and Jimmy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the people that are on there, like, do you feel like there's others that get engaged, but they just don't get any TV time?
No.
So you feel like truly it was just like those 4 or 5 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like Kenneth and Brittany wouldn't have now got screen time. They both boring as hell. Mm-hmm. And this just because they're normal. It's same as like Amy and Johnny. Mm-hmm. Well, they're cute.
They're really
and bubbly. But they are not as entertaining as the other cast members that we just mentioned before.
Yeah.
So moving past Chelsea, Trevor, Jimmy, and Jess, and that whole situationship as well, we have another love triangle or a love entanglement between Jeremy, Laura, and Sarah Ann. Okay, so this is an interesting.
The messiest one.
It really is. So what were your feelings about these 3?
Okay, so the dude, corny. Honestly, like if I saw him, it's first off, he wears these Hawaiian shirts. Like he'll wear them with like suit jackets, and it's just not it. Like he looks corny as fuck. So if I saw him, like actually, I would be gagged. And two of the girls, honestly, they're both problematic. They're both very firecrackers.
I think
Laura. He attracted to them.
I liked Laura. I thought that she was one of my favorites. The way you felt about Chelsea, the way I really felt about Laura.
Oh, really?
Yes. I thought Laura was very funny. I thought that she had like a good relationship with most of the girls. Mm-hmm. I think that she was really authentic.
Cool. Okay.
Maybe a little bit of a mean girl to some, but I liked her.
Okay. Cool. She really didn't like impress me like that, but she's gorgeous though.
Yeah, she's truly very gorgeous. Pretty as well.
Now, what about the Sarah Ann girl to you? She ain't still that to me.
Not until later in the season, but can't really remember. I don't even have anything that I wrote down. I did say that I felt like Jeremy was.
Also, do y'all like our little bootleg Love Is Blind cups?
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Hopefully you all have your cups too.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't really cheers though. We didn't clink it. Here we
go. So I really didn't have much notes about Jeremy either. Mm-hmm. I did say that he let his intrusive thoughts through or when. It was moments where I felt like it's certain things that he said that was just very cringe, which I liked. The little banter between him and Laura. Mm-hmm. It seems like she was like the mom in the relationship, or like, and he was like a little like it
showed when he pulled up and started wearing Hawaiian shirts. And
yeah, it
playing
worked.
In the pool like
yeah.
He was.
I kind of felt like Laura was gonna be the one who was gonna like put him in check or get him in line, and I thought that Jeremy would at least loosen up Laura a little bit. So that's the kind of relationship I thought they would have had. So I was kind of rooting for them too.
To me, I don't find anything sexy about wanting to date someone that acts like my child.
Well,
so I felt like, yeah, cool banter. Like they were having like very cool banter, but like he's childish as hell.
Yeah, not like a mom and son relationship. That's kind of weird. So I take that back. But more, she just seemed very mature and responsible.
I agree with that.
And he seemed like more relaxed and fun and childlike.
So you feel like he would have gave her like a little more like ease, like take the chip off your shoulder type.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay, I get that. Yeah. I see that.
And I don't remember anything between him and Sarah Ann.
Because she didn't really get camera time until the drama started to unfold. To be quite honest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Now, we're gonna go to that cute couple?
Yeah. So now I guess we can talk about Amy and Johnny and Kenneth and Brittany, which were some of the more the wholesome situations out of the whole show. Yeah. So let's start off with Amy and Johnny. What did you think about them?
They're really sweet. Like I feel like they're gonna be that couple that was kind of like Lauren and Cam in the first season that are gonna be together forever. Um, Johnny's just like a golden retriever. Like
Yeah.
he worships the ground that women
He
walks
looks
on.
like it gives me like George Washington vibes.
Is it the hair?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's
the forehead too.
It's kind of tight in the face too.
Yeah, he's very tight in the face. Personally, I'm not really that attracted to him, but like
I
his
can see it,
personality
though.
is.
I think he's handsome.
Really.
Yeah,
I'm personally not attracted to
he
him.
looks
his
unique.
Personality is,
Yeah,
I would have fell in love with his personality too.
Yeah,
you know. So,
Amy is very cute and
sweet man. Yeah. Now Amy, she has a really. She's very.
They say she's like the Latino Dua Lipa.
Okay.
I don't see it,
but she's very, in my opinion, really into her family.
Yeah, which impressed me too.
Yeah, and he seems like he is too. Like they're big on family and stuff. So I feel like that was gonna just create wholesome content out of this. Mm-hmm. To be honest, they're a good couple.
Yeah,
I don't got anything bad to say about them, and that's good that I don't really have anything bad about to say. Well, say anything about them for real because they're just normal as hell. Now, what do you think about Amy though? Besides her being the reality TV Dua Lipa.
So Johnny and Amy's connection for me just seemed very authentic. They're both like young, and I think especially when we see them outside the pods, you can see that chemistry there and that sexual chemistry, which was interesting because they had the whole baby thing and figuring out like a concentrate.
But if that's your only problem, then
yeah,
y'all just trying not to have babies right now. Okay. These motherfuckers having problems that don't even make sense.
Yeah, so in my notes, I said that Johnny and Amy is cute, seem to be very impressed with each other's looks. Amy first white man,
potentially,
and the kiss that they had when they first met each other was very passionate. And I say they're gonna fuck, which they said they never fucked because they weren't trying to have a kid because Johnny had never dated a girl who wasn't on birth control.
Do you know a lot about birth control? Because like at the reunion, he was like, as a man, I really just didn't really have a lot of insight on that.
I think Johnny just didn't care.
He do because he was just like, no.
He didn't care. He never cared because
to learn, you think, or did not care?
Let's be real. Like I've had friends like tell me about some of the things that happen to them when they take birth control. So I'm just imagining if you had like a girlfriend and you were with her on a daily basis, and you would know about some of the symptoms. You would know about some of the things that you can do on your own. You know, I think that he just never thought about it. I think that the girls was always on birth control and he trusted that, and he had never had to think about it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
so
I see that.
I think he just never actually thought about it. It just always worked in his favor.
Do you think that's like a thing that you feel like men need to know more?
Yeah, because I think like we see now all the choices on all the laws being passed to stop women having autonomy of their body. So I think it's something that men just don't really care about. We care about it, or the straight cis men care about it because, you know, they can control whether or not they have babies or, you know, have that control. But when it comes to actually like being knowledgeable and caring what women think, I don't think they do.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I think somewhat, even though Johnny's a good guy, I think he kind of felt that way as well. I don't think he ever cared.
Now I applaud him though because he kind of had some self-realization, like, hey, I am getting married, so now it is time to learn. You get what I'm saying? Like in the past when he was talking about it, you know, he knew this was just gonna be, you know, here and there. I'm just dating someone, but he knew this marriage conversation and them not wanting to have kids, that was gonna have to be said, and like what's the alternatives for them. So, and it seemed like it worked out with the reunion, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about Kenneth and Brittany?
Want to take a sip real quick?
Let me see what
I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna let you do your thing for him.
Okay. So
first off, they're virgin. Are they virgins?
No.
Okay, they're trying to be celibate.
Yeah, so not first. My first impression, it says here, is that Kenneth is so wholesome, as well as Brittany. So Kenneth is a principal.
Mm-hmm. And Brittany's a teacher.
Yeah, so they had that connection together
from the get.
But during the pod, I just always got this friend energy. I never got like they were gonna be sexual.
Why is that?
No chemistry.
But why is that? Like, what gave you friend energy? I'm trying to get him to say it because we're thinking the same thing. I feel like.
Well, I also stated here that when Brittany said that Kenneth sounded stout, I like fell out. Say? Brittany in the pods, when they were talking, I guess kind of like trying to guess each other's appearance.
Yeah.
Brittany said, I think you're black, and it sounds like you could be stout.
What's stout?
Fat.
Does stout mean fat?
Chubby.
YouTube?
Chubby.
Does stout mean fat, or does it mean? Okay, I don't know what stout. I've never heard stout before. Husky. I feel like that means like tall.
Football player. No, because Clay is tall, but I wouldn't consider him a stout. So Kenneth is tall and thick.
What he said when she said that, I don't remember.
He just like agreed because Kenneth got hips. So when
Kenneth stands like Uncle Shay Shay.
Yeah. So when Kenneth was tripping on everybody, tripping on Brittany, because we gonna talk about that in a few moments. Everybody was kind of like, "How are you treating Brittany this way?" And she accepted you with your
stout ass.
She accepted you in your hips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rumor and the perception that's been going around the internet is that Kenneth might be gay. I will say that he has some gay mannerism that I see.
What?
But to be clear, that doesn't always mean that someone can be gay. Like he just might have,
you can be like I feel like we kind of like misjudge flamboyant.
Yeah, he's very flamboyant in a way, and also it's Clay. It's flamboyant as well.
Mm-hmm.
However, the fact that it seemed like Kenneth was not interested in Brittany throughout this experience is why I kind of questioned his sexuality.
And this man, literally, y'all, like the moment he got his phone was on it.
Yeah.
Boy, they know you on the show,
and they was like,
they gotta know because you're a principal. You gotta be there. Like you don't need to answer them emails.
They was like, people on Twitter was like, oh, he was texting his boyfriend.
Yeah, and then like when they broke up, he called like some dude and was just like, I'm coming over there.
Yeah,
I was like, that's his man. Just say that. And I feel like,
and his cousin, low key, they say his cousin outed him on Facebook.
Facebook is just like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. He gay.
I don't think he said that, but they was like,
or he was like, yeah,
they confirmed it.
Yeah,
but he could be bisexual. On the first season, there was a bisexual man.
Oh yeah.
He
was with a girl named Raven.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and they went at it. Please look. I don't remember his name.
Season 1.
That was a mess.
Yeah, but when they met for the first time after Kenneth proposed to Brittany and she accepted, it was no chemistry there at all. No chemistry compared to, let's say,
honestly, all of them.
Johnny and Amy. All of them. No, Johnny and Amy had a good connection. AD and Clay had a good chemistry when they first met for the first time after proposing.
Everyone was making out, and then when it gets to
Chelsea,
them,
Chelsea and Jimmy didn't have chemistry as much either. I can tell when he first saw her, he was disappointed.
Really?
Yeah. Jimmy was 100% disappointed when he saw Chelsea, and you can see his eyes. Like he made like a little look at the camera, like really, bitch.
Oh yeah,
Megan Fox, really?
Yeah,
but I think he was attracted to her enough. It was enough chemistry there sexually for it to at least work for a couple weeks. With Kenneth and Brittany, I knew he wasn't gonna touch her
because he gay.
No, because they were being celibate because they wanted to see how it would work. About a conversation that AD and Kenneth had, like once they were during the honeymoon, she asked him about like how do you feel about dating a white woman, and people was also speculating that's the reason why their Kenneth and Brittany relationship didn't work as well because
No,
yeah.
I don't think so.
The only time that I felt like he was excited or aroused is when he
Those dolphins on that boat.
besides those dolphins and when he was next to Clay. And AD, but I think it was Clay. He was like, "Oh, y'all so sexy" or something like that. He made some type of.
Oh, I love this black love. Like, don't tease me, guys.
Yeah, maybe
I was like,
it's making me horny. I'm like,
I don't think he said that. I think he said like,
he said
don't
something.
Tease me or something.
It was something very like flirty and sexual.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which he had never done with Brittany. So it was like either like you don't like white women or you like black men.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of like people was calling Jimmy ugly. I thought Jimmy was kind of.
I thought he looked good. I honestly swear to you, him and Jess would have been a very, very, very attractive couple. Like he looks like just someone that is supposed to be married, fine wife, hella kids. Like I was like, this could be an attractive couple.
Well, moving forward to the later episodes in this season, they are the couples that we have moving forward to the honeymoon, I think, or the vacation. What they vacated this time?
I can't tell you. I don't even remember.
Yeah. So, anyways, it was AD and Clay. We had Chelsea and Jimmy, also Laura and Jeremy, as well as Amy and Johnny, and Kenneth and Brittany. And as I stated before,
10 people.
So what stuck out to you during the honeymoon phase?
I guess starting off, Kenneth's passiveness with his wife. I thought that he would probably ease up a little more, and be more affectionate. Yeah, that was not never. It. Also, my perception of Chelsea. So how I was saying that I loved her in the pods. And then her getting to the honeymoon and being like this very insecure person was just like a wow factor to me. And I guess what's the girl that went with
Laura? Is it Laura?
Laura. Her saying the bean dip AD. Yeah. That was very off putting as hell.
Do you think it was like a racist joke or just like a...
No, I don't think it was nothing racist, but I just think like you don't tell.
When I thought about being dip, I thought about the fact that AD's or areolas is like black or brown, and bean dip.
No, I think bean dip mean like just flick your titty.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, like it could have hidden things with it.
Yeah, that's because I was trying to figure out why it was so offensive, other than the fact that like it was very sexual.
I feel like it was so offensive because for that reason, and she told her husband to go do that, and that's supposed to be your friend. Like, no, that's not cool.
How do you feel about everyone freaking out about AD's ass?
I think they were sexualizing her hard as fuck.
Yeah,
and she ate it up.
Yeah,
I don't really. I hate that
she probably used to that because she's a cheerleader.
Yep.
I do think Jimmy has a crush on AD.
Yep. He wants to fuck her so bad. He wants to bite.
Even after the show is over, he's still kind of like, the door's open between me and AD. Like, she's basically saying she's welcome to, come anytime she wants to. I'm ready for that chocolate boutte.
You think AD would do it?
I'm not sure. Maybe so. The fact that I learned that she went on some dates with Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. And then she was kind of eating up the fact that Jimmy was kind of like checking her out. He was flirting with her. Like,
she was egging it on.
Yeah, he was checking her out. He was like letting me know that like, hey,
like you look good.
If Clay don't act right,
I'm here.
Yeah.
What this is showing about Jimmy a little more from your statement is that he is a very like this show isn't not for him.
He's in the same lane as Clay. Like,
yes, he has to see what you look like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay.
All about the physical.
Don't go on the show though. That's what makes it confusing as hell.
Yeah. Anything else interesting about the honeymoon stage that stood out to you? I think we covered most of everything that I can think about.
Oh, how Clay was eating that food.
Oh, he was hungry as hell. Was that during the honeymoon or was that when
that was during the honeymoon?
Yeah. And he always seemed kind of distracted as well. Like he seemed kind of like
aloof.
aloof.
Yeah.
And at points, it did kind of feel like he was reading off like a script. And he did mention, like, when they was like eating dinner and stuff, and he was going over the same thing for the 100th time about how he's a cheater and he ain't good enough and he don't know what he gonna do.
It's like he's like reassuring himself, like, and just there to be
I
like,
think
okay.
he was warning her. He was never gonna propose to her. Which, spoiler alert, he didn't propose. AD and Clay
walked down the damn aisle.
Yeah, they just got dressed up just for her to say no, just for him to say no. I feel like he knew all along that he was not gonna say yes to her, and when he would say things like, "Oh yeah, my dad did this, he did it to my mom,"
he's hinting to you right then.
He's giving you signs like, "Hey, just so you know," he's trying to, like, cushion the blow.
But the thing is, though, I feel like a lot of women fall into AD's situation because
we want to fix him.
Yeah, that too. And then, like, like you see the potential in somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you feel like they can be their best person with you, and the whole fixing them and stuff. So, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation. But AD, honestly.
AD was like,
although she is a victim, she also is,
she knows exactly what's happening, and she's voluntarily.
She even said she's like, if there's red flags, I'm painting my nails red.
Right. And she also stated that she usually goes for the same type of guys over and over again. And I'm thinking that Clay is the same type of guy that she has,
been with.
Yeah, in the past that, she have, learned that isn't good for her, but she's the type of person I think likes the roller coaster ride.
Watch her get with damn Jimmy.
Right.
And them be together forever.
That could be cute.
That'd be weird, but cute. Like, she would get X'd out from the group chat. Like, I don't feel like Chelsea would fuck with her. Jess wouldn't fuck with her.
But Jess, and this is like later in the season as well, Jess wanted to be with Jimmy as well. I feel like she would have.
Yeah, I just want to be with Jimmy.
I think she tried to play it off, but that conversation she had with Laura at the bar when she was kind of like, yeah, I looked on his page and basically just trying to say, like,
she was spin the block.
Like he want me, and like she thought he was attractive. That's why I feel like she was nervous when they finally met at the picnic at the lake. Yeah. So let's fast forward to
Wait, but let's talk about your expectations with the honeymoon though, because I said mine. Like, what did you feel for the honeymoon? And then was fast forward to living together.
I didn't really have too many expectations. I just wanted to see like how they vibed, and I felt like the people who did vibe was Johnny and Amy. I feel like Clay and AD vibe for the most part.
Yeah.
I think what we see during that time is like who like is physically attracted to each other.
Yeah. Is there any moments that stood out to you like that it did with me?
No, I think we went through. Yeah, we went through those before the situation with Kenneth and Clay and AD when he made that comment to them. Also Jimmy flirting with AD and also that being their comment. So that's what stood out to me in those moments.
Cool. Okay.
So what about, I guess they move in together now? So how you feel about that when they start to coexist together?
Chelsea, the insecurity show more.
Yeah.
I was rooting for this girl, y'all. Like, I love this girl in the pod so much. Just fumble.
This is also during the time they met each other's
friends and family.
No, what's this afterwards? Because some people
the house think it's friends and family. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kenneth and Brittany didn't get there.
They did not even get there. Yeah, that was saddening because you could just tell Kenneth did not give a damn.
He did not want to be
there. And I'm
first.
so mad that they did. Nick and Vanessa did not touch on that at all, because that was something that I was really wondering about. Like, why did he do that? Like, how did Brittany feel?
And I think that's the reason why they didn't have sex.
Yeah,
because of chemistry. I don't think
there was something very off.
Was like, no kids.
He came in one night when she was asleep, and it was like 4 a.m. and he turned on the lights on her and like tried to make out with her or something.
Yeah,
she said.
Or maybe, for real?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember she was just like, I remember you trying to like try something, and I was, sleeping, and you came in one night at 4 a.m. and tried and turned the lights on and trying to make out with me, and I wasn't feeling it. That like when the kitchen scene when he was on his phone.
Yeah, and I heard they had like retaped that because there was an issue off scene where they just agreed that we're not compatible, so they had to like
Oh,
they had to like I guess the producer made them like
to
redo it.
re-talk about it
Yeah, and that's why when we saw them on film, they were kind of just like
again. Yeah.
yeah, because I think eventually they had already learned that they weren't going to be together.
He has a bad cut though, cause like from the get when he get his phone.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think that he was able to get a good cut because it probably wasn't too much to pull from.
Yeah, cause he
Yeah,
wasn't doing nothing
yeah,
but on his phone.
yeah.
When we should have honestly in the reunion, which we're gonna get to, they should have touched on that
What?
more a little bit. Like, why were you on your phone like
Mm-hmm.
that? Like
Like,
your
were you
phone, your
sexually
school know
attracted
you on a
to?
reality show. I mean, you got your job back at the end of the day. They
Yeah.
know you on a reality show. You can check that later. You got to make it.
I did like Amy and Johnny. I think the
Oh, of course, but we don't even. They just good,
yeah,
perfect. Yeah,
yeah. Meeting the families seemed pretty natural to them.
yes, they loved her.
All Johnny's siblings,
Loved her. They were like, I would marry her, Johnny.
all Johnny's siblings look alike,
Yes.
like
The
copy and paste.
sisters. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dad, Johnny meeting the dad and asking for his hand in marriage. She's like, you have to get my dad's hand in marriage, and he was just like, hell yeah.
I thought the dad was gonna be a little bit more tough,
Me
but
too.
I
Being
get
like a brown boy dad.
no, just like how she like kind of like bigged it up, like
Yeah.
expectation,
But
anticipation.
like the edit though, they probably just like my dad. She probably was like, my dad's really chill, and they probably like cut it out.
Yeah. Yeah. AD mom is very entertaining. You see how
Love
she
her.
looked when she saw Clay? She was kind of like,
I did that when Clay
like,
came up on my screen. I was like, damn, this man look good as hell.
yeah.
Then I learned about his ass.
Well, that's how they usually come.
Yeah.
So AD mom was
Mom.
obviously impressed by Clay's looks.
The physical.
Clay. And she was like, "That's a man there. That's a man there." And she seemed like she was on the Clay train.
Yep.
I think during that moment, I feel like Clay wasn't that personable. I think that he, again, seems like he was ringing from a strip, or he just seemed very nervous for some reason.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that like they were able to connect, and also with his mom as well. I really loved his mom.
Margarita.
Oh yeah, Margarita. I think everyone loved Margarita.
I think so too.
Also, I think that he was insinuating that AD didn't have a job.
What was up with that?
He was like, I don't really know what she does. I don't know like what she does for work, or like I don't know her situation. And he later used that as like one of the reasons why
like
he didn't say yes.
To be like, no, that's why I can't go to the offer. Yeah.
Yeah, like
also
as if like she was gonna like because I'm like the way that he claims, the way that he represents himself, it seems like he might be, I guess, successful in what he does and maybe has a little money on his pocket. So it seems like at times that he was trying to call her like a gold digger, like he's gonna be used for his money. He didn't know where her money was coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. You bringing up the interaction with AD, Clay, and his mom. Now I'm looking back and I feel like AD was probably trying to console her mom to be like, I don't feel like I need to make this decision to be with Clay. And then she saw Clay and then her whole script changed. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And I only thinking about it now since you brought it up because I'm just like, I feel like that interaction was just kind of like, Mom, I don't know what to do. And I'm not really feeling him like that. But he's fine as hell.
Right.
And, he,
and I think
successful.
It was narcissistic because I think what he was doing the whole season was putting himself in like a victim state. So when he did make the decision to not go down the aisle, it's kind of like, oh, he just has like, even to like kind of like fool AD, like, oh, he just has issues. I can help him. I can heal him.
But
I can fix him.
Yeah.
He just needs me.
Because I feel like there's a lot we didn't see. Because if AD got sense, like I feel like she got sense, I feel like she's probably telling this man, like, don't embarrass me now. Mm-hmm. Don't you better embarrass me.
But him being like nonchalant and like, kind of avoiding, he's probably not actually like dealing with it. And like she said, the reunion, he had plenty of time to say, hey, I can't do this. He claimed that he didn't know until the last moment, the last seconds, that he was going to propose. That he was not going to propose, but he was going to say yes to her for marriage.
Wasted her time.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny too? Because the premise of the show, you get on here
to get married.
And
we said it before.
It's not like you get on here to get engaged.
Or get a girlfriend. Or get a promise ring.
That's literally
He basically gave her a promise ring.
A promise ring?
Yeah.
I feel like AD gonna fold though. That's a gag.
Yeah, she's both definitely fold. If you watch the reunion, you can tell they are still like in some type of situation with each other. Mm-hmm. At least they're having sex.
She's like, I flirtate. That's like my flirtatious friend.
By flirting, girl, what? We flirt just a little bit. You mean how? Fuck a little bit?
Yeah, just say that. Just tell us that, honestly. Truthfully. Anyway.
Yeah. This when things start getting kind of rocky with Laura and Jeremy.
Oh my God. Yes. I forgot.
It was always.
Please explain it.
It was very awkward the whole time. From what I can remember,
she used to go off on him because she did not like his outfit.
It was very cringe.
Yes, she was her mom.
She was kind of overbearing at some point, and I kind of figured that they weren't gonna last because of that.
Now, did your perception change of Laura like mine did with Chelsea when she got out the pods?
Somewhat, yeah. I felt like she was reasonable sometimes, but I felt like she was very pushy. Mm-hmm. She had an attitude.
Yes, as hell. I agree. I feel like she kind of had an attitude at the pods, to be quite honest. But maybe that came off to you as like good assertiveness.
Yeah, and I think I'm really thinking more about her and the her interactions with the girls. Not really.
She was a girl's girl.
Really,
like she was really that girl. Jeremy, yeah, I agree with that.
So we also see moving forward, they meet each other, parents. Everything seems pretty good. Well, at first with Laura's family, this is before Jeremy went and had his little situation, that night with Sarah Ann. So basically, Jeremy snuck off one night and went to a bar and met with Sarah Ann. Well, maybe she was at the bar he was at, but anyways.
Yeah, I think like he walked in and she happened to be there, but honestly, at this point, I feel like he knew that she was gonna be there.
Yeah, and they ended up having a nightcap basically, and basically they say they just talked and like sat in the car and bonded. But we all think they slept together or something happened. And basically he was going to probably lie about it, and this is actually like maybe hours before he met with Laura's family. And was like saying how happy he was to get married. Yep. And we also later found out after this season it's Jeremy and also Sarah Ann, which they are together. They wasn't originally, but after a little rendezvous, they did finally decide to be a couple. Everybody was kind of against that and coming down hard on them for because even like earlier in the season, Sarah Ann and AD had that moment where AD basically called her out for DMing Jeremy while he was with Laura.
And that was too much. You don't do that to no engaged man.
Right.
Like, come on, girl.
Which I understand, like the window of time is different than reality. So maybe in those situations, yeah.
And maybe she wanted closure, but like, if you watch the show, there's going to be a link up with all the couples that you had a connection with. Do that in person. Out of respect. because honestly, she probably would have respected you more if you did it in person.
True.
Than do it behind her back.
Oh.
Although it wasn't real behind her back because Jeremy did show her, but like, what if he didn't show her?
Right.
That would have been, that kind of would have been worse, honestly. And something that Sarah Ann, they actually showed on the reunion too, was Sarah Ann posted a TikTok saying like, baby, this is reality TV and we, you know, did our thing for reality TV, kind of just making it seem like everybody's connections or like this experience was like disingenuous as hell.
I think that's the reason why Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey was kind of like coming down on Trevor and them because they want to kind of keep the legitimacy of the show, which I did give them props for adding some of those past couples. I think it did give us the legitimacy of the show again. Since everyone kind of like was playing around.
Yeah, and I think, sure.
And then like it's kind of like they kept saying, "This is people's real life. This is real love." I'm kind of like, "This be real life. This is not that much of real life. This is still a reality show and still for entertainment purposes."
But for the fact though, people come there with good intentions though, and they do want to get married. You know, like for example, like that. What's that cute couple name again?
Johnny and Amy.
Amy, yeah. Like they legit came there with good intentions and it worked out, right? So I mean, like it can work out for you. Like we see the couples that were on the reunion, which they brought back old couples and everything that actually worked out, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
About I think
some missed opportunities that we had on the reunion is the fact that they did not go as hard, like we said before, on Kenneth. Yes. I think should have at least pressure him a little bit more to see like was he even attracted to her? Like, what was the reason why you wasn't affectionate with this woman at all?
It was really focused a lot on like Jeremy and that other dude, like Wreck-It Ralph,
which I understand
because like there was so much stuff that came out after the show, so I get that, and I'm happy they answered those questions. But like, I would have loved to.
They gave just too much screen time. I feel like,
and they weren't even allowed. I feel like if they made it more to like actually meeting their families and stuff, we probably would have got a little more insight. But like them not making that, like kind of just cut them short, you know. But the only couple that is successful right now is
Amy and Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, yeah.
Which
and that's a fail.
We already knew was gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a fail.
But we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah, I feel like I think it's gonna last. We're gonna see them next season at the reunion, coupled up.
Any takeaways though before we wrap up?
I love what Johnny said, where he said that we do bicker, but we argue about the right things.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you better eat them up, King. I was like, that is such a good response because yes, y'all are a new couple. Y'all only been married for a year. Of course, y'all gonna bicker because like legitimately, y'all kind of just dating for real. Like, and I love that y'all say that y'all do argue like couples do, but y'all argue about things that matter.
Yeah.
And that was really nice.
Very realistic.
Yeah, very like good, humble relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any takeaways for you?
For me, I think can't raise a man in AD case. You know, sometimes people are just not that into you. Chelsea's case and Jimmy's case. And sometimes
physical is important.
Yeah. Clay's case, and also sometimes you gotta take some other man.
I don't see
Sarah Ann the case.
No.
I think Sarah Ann did. I'm team Sarah Ann. I think she took the chance that she needed. I think if it didn't work with Laura, which if it's a 4-week process and y'all on this experiment, then why not?
Well, something you saying that you remember in the reunion, the dude, well, I think it was Chelsea said that she saw him out and he was saying that he wasn't with her.
Yeah.
So they seem like they're very rocky.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're not gonna last at all. They just for entertainment purposes for I guess for the show basically.
Had to put on a good face.
But Jeremy is chaotic.
Now, let's go into before we end some expectations that you would like to see in the next season.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see more black couples. I would like to see maybe some queer people. It might not happen. At least bisexuals. Add some bisexuals in there because that could work. I want to see possibly more. That's all really.
Yeah, like I guess for the recruiting team, like I would love to see people that already know the show and the intentions of the show. I feel like they kind of like got people that don't really watch the show like that.
They watch the show.
Well, Clay said he did. He's never watched it. And he watched the episode with last season.
He knew
with,
something about
with
it.
AD and his mama, and was just like,
you Googled it before you said yes.
Yeah, but I feel like because I watched like a live with like Speedy and one of the dudes from the last season, and they were telling me that like the recruiting team just kind of just goes on Instagram
and pick people,
and just pick people
like, at random,
allegedly. Allegedly.
I thought they stalk them for
because he told me like he didn't even know about the show. Well, the dude that Speedy was interviewing said he didn't even know about the show, but got a DM saying, "Are you open to do this? Like, are you someone that is ready to get married?" And then he was like, "Yeah." Checked all the boxes and got him the show.
Yeah.
So, child, it's a lot.
It's just ridiculous. They should have checked Kenneth's background more. But
it's gonna be like that Lifetime show, like Love at First Sight. Honestly,
I wonder who was the first murder on that show.
The first murder. It'll be canceled after that.
Right. But yeah, also add some more ugly people. That's all my expectations.
Yes, like let's do some shock factor shit. Right. Like some true shock factor shit. And also too, let's make more like
make it more challenging.
Say like your physical appearance,
disabled
like, you
people.
Get a fine. Let's do that.
Yeah, you
like,
get
make
kicked
it
off.
Like something that like you do not want to say, because if you do,
and also a back check of like their past relationships and how like long it's been since they've been engaged or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, more confessionals, like more like lead up, like where we know a little bit more about them, maybe like a little background. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, all of that.
They can structure it better, but we'll see. Maybe they'll listen to this.
Yeah. So, there it is. Hopefully you all liked it. Give us some comments on some of your commentary that you had after reviewing this season. If there's anything else that you would like for us to review, let us know. Do you have anything else, Donisha, to say before we close out?
I think that's it. And if y'all feel like Love is Truly Blind, or do you feel like, physical appearance is like actually a thing that contributes to someone you need to fall in love with, please leave a comment in the comment section for us.
Right. And if you don't like Megan Fox, don't say it on national TV.
Okay? Yeah, for sure.
Bye.
Bye.